Hi, my name is Dr. Julia Schmidt, and I lead the CEDAR Brain Injury Lab. Our lab is based at GF Strong Rehabilitation Research Centre and affiliated with the University of British Columbia in Vancouver. Our lab collaborates with people with brain injuries, community associations, healthcare professionals, and policymakers. We want to understand the experience of brain injury and develop programs to support quality of life and personally meaningful goals after brain injury. In this study, we partnered with Debbie Chow, who's a stroke survivor and founder of BLAST. Our overall goal for the study was to explore participants' experiences in a community-based, peer-led peer support group for people with stroke.
My name is Debbie Chow. I was fortunate to have met Julia through a neighbor friend of mine, and talking about what we did at our stroke recovery group, because it's a little bit different and a little bit special. So our group is called, we start off with a weekend camp called BLAST, Building Life After Stroke Together. And then we didn't see enough of each other once a year for the weekend, 72 hours straight. But we started doing dinners on the 15th of every month for stroke survivors, and that's open to anybody. And then after that, we wanted to do a weekly program, so we followed BLAST and thought, we'll do it ourselves. We did the weekend thing ourselves, so we can do a weekly one and see how that works. I was never interested in playing a major role, so my idea is to have everybody take part. We're all equals. Stroke has so many different backgrounds of people and such a variety of abilities that everybody can do something. And we've learned through that, and through watching this, that we get so much out of it. Like when everybody makes one little step, we all feel that. We all take pride in the steps somebody else made. So that's really special. I think the caring for each other, that we've all become a family. Yeah, most of the people in this group, we probably wouldn't have ever even said hello to each other in the past, right? And stroke has brought us all together.
Yeah. So as part of the study, we conducted interviews with 11 participants. The questions were developed by people with lived experience of stroke, us researchers and clinicians. And the questions included things like, why did you join the group? What has your experience been with life after stroke? And how, if at all, has attending the group affected your life after stroke? We then analyzed the data and coded for themes, and our results were summarized in a poster and videos sent to participants for feedback to gain further understanding of the data. So our study found 3 central themes. The first theme showed that participants in the peer-led peer support group, the BLAST group, was meeting unmet needs after stroke. So initially after stroke, some of the participants reflected on their feelings of loss. And one participant even said, you're not sure of yourself. You lose everything you have, your confidence. Whereas some participants expressed they had unmet needs, and this group helped them to reclaim their sense of self and self-sufficiency and independence. One participant described that the BLAST program is totally volunteer run, and it stretches myself. So, do you want to comment on some of that?
Yeah, okay, so BLAST, our weekly group became socials, survivors offering camaraderie and active living support. And so to run without therapists, it engages more people, they gain more self-esteem. Like Jeannie, our exercise person, didn't come one day. So everyone got in a circle anyway and came up with trying to remember different exercises that they had done. So you had total engagement with them. You had more than the therapist would get, right? They're thinking and developing what they want to do and getting the others to do it and having a blast. The exercises lasted 2 hours. They're having so much fun, right?
One person said also, you don't have to rely on somebody else to do the things. It's a very shared desire to provide this kind of service amongst ourselves. They're really reflecting what you were saying. We had another theme that was buddies helping buddies. And this name came from something a participant actually said in our group. They said, basically the group, BLAST, is buddies helping buddies. We just have a good time and health while we help each other. And another person added, I think it's the hardships I went through. I want to help other stroke survivors so they can see that there is life after stroke. So that really, that feeling of the buddies, the camaraderie.
Yeah, and I think, so because we're peer-led, we understand and we can say things that a therapist couldn't say. And we accept that more from each other because we're peers. And I don't think that could ever happen in another situation, right? And obviously in a clinical situation or in a hospital type room, it's not the same as we have here. Like, this is really comfortable and quite natural.
That there's something else that you offer that a therapist or another person could never, because they haven't had the same experience that you have.
Yeah, yeah. And they want to help. If you volunteer for a group, you want to help. So if they miss the ball, you're going to chase it and give it to them. We all just sat there, which I didn't realize was happening until I watched the video. Everyone's just sitting there and waiting, right? But they had the patience to wait because we knew he could get it eventually. And we just waited because we were there too. And I think that's what makes a difference. If you haven't experienced it, you don't know that. And for us, it just comes naturally because that's how it is. But yeah, and we know we're all in it together. So if someone needs a hand doing something, someone else will pitch in. And at the same time, allowing you to do as much as you can yourself, right?
Yeah, exactly. Knowing what each other needs and really fostering that, like helping each other. So noting that people in the group shared the understanding of the experience of stroke, as you were mentioning. One participant said, I think it is confidence building. You're not afraid to try things and look stupid. It's because everyone else is struggling too, so you build confidence in that respect. An additional element of that authentic friendship that was created was also laughing and being silly together, and we see that in your group just right outside.
As soon as you walk in, right?
Yes, it's very joyful. One participant said, it's a social opportunity to get together. It's like a family reunion. We're not strangers from different places, and that's really reflected in your group.
We know what each other is going through, right? Like, I never would have done this before without gaining the confidence that I have now from all these people. Like, I started it so they think I do it for them, but I do it for myself, right? And I'm fortunate to have Julia look at it from a different perspective, because more of these things can happen elsewhere. And I think what we're wondering from this is it our family feel, is it these specific people, or can it be done anywhere for any person who could gain from it? I can't stress how important it is for people, for self-isolation and what we do for each other. It comes from deep within. It's just like caring and sharing, but yeah, they're crazy. Laughing is top of the list. So we think of our group as therapy under the guise of fun. It has to be fun. It has to be no stress, and there really isn't stress in this group, right? New people can come in and they're welcomed into the family, and I don't know. Hopefully, from the study, we can start showing exactly what it is that's making it work, and help make it work for other people. And one last thing I didn't get to say was, through it all, early on, we discovered that we found bliss, which is better life in stroke survival. And this is Jax, my service dog in training.
Thanks for your interest. For more information and updates about our lab, find us online and on Twitter at CEDAR_Brain Injury.